Here's the thing, I just finished watching Saltburn. Like, when I say just finished, I mean maybe 20 minutes ago. And I have many, many thoughts, but I haven't processed any of them yet. But I think the main takeaway was that the vibes of Saltburn, immaculate. Immaculate. And I want to continue that. I want to continue those feelings. So I want to try and find some books with Saltburn vibes. And we're going to read them and we're going to have a good time, hopefully. Morally grey characters, slightly unhinged storylines. That is my jam. That is my favourite thing. Also, sorry, hi, welcome if you're new. My name's Flo. If you're not new, welcome back. Sorry, I completely forgot to say all that. Look, sorry, I feel like Saltburn's fried my brain a little bit, but I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was an excellent, beautifully crafted film, and I just want to continue the vibes. So today's mission, well, this week's mission, is to find some books that give the same vibes. And because this is a very, very academic channel and we value research here, I thought I would ask Snapchat AI. Here's the thing, I don't want it to hear, I don't really trust it. I don't really trust AI. I don't know, it makes me uncomfortable, and I've actually never spoken to the Snapchat AI, but I don't know, I thought it might be fun. And if it doesn't have any good suggestions or any that are on my physical TBR, because this year's mission is to actually read my physical TBR, so I don't want to go out and buy anything, so I need to already own the book. If we don't have anything, then we'll Google or, I don't know, something, but we're going to try this first. Do I say hi? Yeah, that's polite, right? Hi. Oh god. Oh, how's it going? What's on your mind today? Oh, sorry, I'm flustered. Hello. Don't say hello again, it's fine. Could you please, terrible typing, recommend me a book with Saltburn vibes? Vibes. The Salt Path. I don't know what that book is, but I feel like she just took the word salt and ran with it. Captivating memoir about a couple who embark on a challenging journey along the southwest coast path. Sounds great, doesn't sound like anything to do with Saltburn. Okay, let's reword the question. Can you recommend me a book with similar vibes to the movie Saltburn? Oh, what is it saying? The Light Between Oceans. Great title. Again, don't own. Any others? The Girl on the Train. Gone Girl. See, The Silent Patient I do own, but like I know what that's about, and is that Saltburn vibes? Okay. Thank you very much. Kindness is key. I'm gonna ignore her. I don't think I trust that. Okay, we're gonna go back to plan B. Plan B is to Google books that give Saltburn vibes. Okay, this is good. It's immediately given us a list, and I'm immediately seeing books on here that I own. Okay, this is much better. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so the top books that it's recommending, again with zero research, these are just the ones that come up immediately, are Rebecca, The Secret History, If We Were Villains, Brideshead Revisited, Bunny, The Line of Beauty, These Violet Delights, Atonement, Eileen, The Guest, The Rules of Attraction. Well, that is a good list because I own two of those books. I own If We Were Villains and Bunny, so we could definitely start with those two books. And actually, both of those books I'm quite excited to read, so I feel like those could be good times. Which one should we start with first? I'm gonna go see what I can find. Hi, I have Bunny by Mona Awad, mostly because If We Were Villains was at the bottom of the pile and I didn't feel like getting it out. But I have been so excited to read this. Like, this is one of my most anticipated reads of this year. This is about a cult in a university, I think. I don't know much more about it than that, other than it's meant to be unhinged. And you know I love an unhinged book. I kind of don't really want to read the blurb or like too much about it. I feel like this will be a fun one to just run with and see where it takes me. Let's start this. I'm now exposing the fact that underneath the camera I had sweatpants on the whole time, but it's fine. It's fine. Opening line is, we call them bunnies because that is what they call each other. Seriously, bunny. I'm literally up to page 36, but I just have a feeling, obviously it's too early to tell, I just have a feeling I'm gonna love this. It's giving unreliable narrator vibes, I hope. I don't know. It's giving those vibes. Literally I'm on page 36, but like I have the best feeling about this. I've made it to page 76. I literally have stopped like right before the end of a chapter. I don't know why I always do this. It's my phone. Sorry, this is actually nothing to do with the book. I have a habit of setting reminders for myself, like phone reminders, and not really thinking through the like prompt. So I've set myself a reminder for 10 AM on a Monday morning, and the reminder says Monday. Like, how is that helpful, past flow? What am I reminded of? It's Monday? I know it's Monday. Oh, now I'm like, what was that meant to be for? But anyway, I'm on page 76. It's so weird, but like, I love a weird book. I love it. I love the writing style. This is what I was talking about earlier with this like unreliable narrator thing. You don't quite know if like what she's saying is true, because she's having this conversation basically where she's saying that she's being followed by rabbits, which is obviously weird, but you like don't know if that's like, because you see it happening, so you're like, is that actually happening? Or is this entire conversation not happening? Or like, is it actually happening and it's like really weird? Like, you just don't know. She's also a self-confessed liar. Like, she describes herself as like someone who as a child and like growing up, like, she was like, I lie, I tell stories, I like, she's just saying she is a liar, so you're kind of like, well, is any of this true? It is such a surreal reading experience. The other thing I love about this book, I mean, again, I'm literally on page 76, but I'm already like so hooked, is it's about it's about writers. I love books about writers. They're studying like storytelling and writing in university, and they're like doing workshop. So it's like a class where they basically workshop each other's pieces and stuff. So I just love that element as well. And like, again, she's a liar and a storyteller, so you don't know what's true. I'm gonna keep going, but honestly, I'm obsessed. This is absolutely my kind of vibe. Hey, it's me again. I swear I don't normally check in this much during a book, but like, I just have so much to say about this book. I'm on page 115. I swear I'm not gonna check in every few pages, but like, again, I just have so much to say on this book, which is a good thing. So, here's the thing. I think I thought this book was going to like start kind of normal, get gradually like a bit odd throughout, and then it was going to end being really bizarre. No, we're already deep in the insanity. Like, people are exploding and dissolving in and out of focus, and like, it's so trippy and weird, and I totally get the Saltburn vibes. Like, the internet was not lying. I mean, this is like 50 times more insane than Saltburn, because it's just so like, it's got those same vibes of like, oh, you don't know what's real and what's not, and like the narrator's a bit like unreliable, but this is like a fever dream. Like, it is so bizarre, but like, I love that. But interestingly, I was reading some of the reviews for the book, and it's got very, very mixed reviews, and the 1-star reviews and the 5-star reviews say the same thing, which I just think is really interesting. They all say that it's so bizarre and like you can't follow the story at parts, and it's like a complete like mind boggle of a book. And so I think it becomes a thing of just like, do you enjoy that? Because me personally, love that. Big fan. I am having the best time with this book. I do realise I don't think at any point in this review have I remotely told you what this is about, so just very briefly, we are following Samantha. She is at Warren University, which Warren as in like a rabbit's warren, which I did not pick up on. I saw somebody talking about the book. That would have gone straight over my head. So Samantha is in a like writing group that I think I spoke about before, and all of the other girls in this writing group are a part of this group called the Bunnies. They call each other Bunnies. It's very satirical and like over the top. They're very obsessive about each other and their clothes and how they act and how they look, and they're basically like this little cult. And Samantha starts off being like, I hate them, I want nothing to do with them, they're so weird. And then they invite her to a party and she's immediately like, yeah, I'll come, thanks. It kind of follows her as she starts to fall in with this cult. And as I say, bizarre it is bizarre, and bits of the storyline you are like, what on earth is going on? But I feel like that's exactly how you're meant to feel, and you kind of just have to sit in the writing and like trust it's going to catch you, because I feel like it does. Having the best time. Also, can they please make it into a movie and cast me? Because I would love to be in this so much. Yeah, I'm just having the best time. Anyway, I'm gonna continue this because I want to do nothing else with my day other than read this. Good afternoon. It is the same day. I'm running on quite a few coffees. I went into town to get some writing done, and I got a little bit of reading done too. I'm about halfway through Bunny now, still adoring it, flying through it. I literally was sat in town like doing some writing, and I had to force myself to do other work because I just wanted to sit and read this. Like, I have never read a book like this. It is so completely unique, and it's basically where we're at now in the story. It's like Samantha has lost herself so much that she is one of the bunnies, and basically the way the story is told now is everything is we did this, we spoke to this person, and you basically don't know who's who. The way it's written is that we don't know who's talking, we don't know which bunny is who, and there are like little clues as to be like, oh, maybe this person's Samantha, but it is so like so far down the rabbit hole, if you will, that you're just like lost in this world of madness, which I guess is kind of like saying that's what the character is as well. But yeah, I'm back from town now, and I might try and finish this today. I finished the book. Maybe I should have collected my thoughts before I begun this. Loved this book. My entire reading experience of this was just this like whirlwind of chaos and surrealness and weirdness, and I loved every second of it. It got somewhere like in the middle, it got to the point where it was like, you've lost me, but like lost me in the best way. Like I have completely lost touch with what is reality, and then it kind of dug its way back, and then the ending, you're right back there and you're like, I 1000% need a reread of this because I think there are definitely things that I didn't fully understand. But again, I think that's part of the reading experience. It was wild, it was fun, and I'm so glad I finally picked this up. I quite liked getting a little bit lost with Mona Awad. I think she did an excellent job of creating this like completely satirical, surreal reality, and I wanted to stay in it. And then when the book finished, I was like, oh. And now we are going to move on to If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. This, I think, is going to be very different. I don't think this has the same sort of surreal bizarreness. I know this is dark academia. I know it's about a group of actors and one of them dies. I think one of them... Oh, interesting. Well, maybe not very interesting, but this guy is called Oliver. The same as in Saltburn. The Saltburn vibes already giving. It's about Oliver, who has just served 10 years for murder. It says he may or may not have committed the murder, but somebody in their like group of friends at this university, I think, has died. And I think it's the story of that. And I don't know too much more about it than that. Again, I want to go into this as blind as possible. I'm going to start this now because honestly, Bunny has put me in the biggest reading mood. Like, I'm so excited. The dedication for this book, I love it. It says, "For the many weird and wonderful thespians whom I have had the good fortune to call my friends, I promise this is not about you." I love that, that's so sweet. Act 1. I have made it to Act 2, so I've read the first act. It's like set up as a play, so instead of like chapters, it's scenes, and there aren't like, can you see that? It's not like, there aren't like chapter breaks, so everything runs into one, which I was a little bit worried about when I first saw. I was a bit, I personally, I need chapter like breaks to trick my brain into keeping on reading, if that makes sense, because I don't know, I can't explain it. I was a bit worried, but like I have flown through this. I'm on page, oh, exactly 100. I'm on page 100. I mean, I've read this so quickly. I've absolutely flown through it. I don't know if the author is an actor or if she has just done incredible research, but so many of the things that are said in this and like discussed in this are exact conversations I had while I was training to be an actor. Like,
almost word for word, like conversations about Shakespeare, about training, about rehearsals. Like, I swear some of the conversations that have been had in here, I have verbatim had in real life while training. I need to look it up. Should we just look it up? Because I am actually genuinely quite interested. It says she has been a writer since 12 and a thespian even longer. So I'm guessing she was an actor. She graduated from the University of North Carolina, can't read, North Carolina, with a degree in English and dramatic art. So yeah, I guess she was an actor. I already feel so connected to this book because I don't know, there's just something really magical about this to me. I just feel very immediately connected to the world and the characters, and part of that is because I feel like I've directly experienced some of the scenes that are happening. Not the deathy ones. No one was murdered while I was training. Yeah, I don't know, I just feel connected to it. And it's also partly because the writing is just really phenomenal. There's a lot more Shakespeare in it than I was expecting. I knew there were lots of like Shakespeare quotes embedded in it, but there's a lot more than I was expecting, but it's beautifully done. Like, you can tell that she has such a understanding but also love of Shakespeare and the language, and it's stunning. So basically the prologue of this book is Oliver as he's getting out of prison, and basically Oliver is telling this police detective what happened, and then it flashes back to 10 years when he was in the college, and it's basically telling the story. But we actually don't know who's died yet, but I have a theory, I have a feeling about who it's going to be, and I really don't want it to be this person because I really like that person and I'm very attached to them. We are having such a good week because Bunny adored. I think I'm going to adore this too. I'm having a very good time. I am, however, going to call it a day for now because I am knackered and I feel like I've read so much today. Well, I have read so much today, and I will probably check in with you tomorrow. I have been reading this morning and I've made it to page 191, so 40% through. We've just found out who died. Obviously no spoilers, but no, I can't even say any thoughts because I don't want to spoil anything. And the whole, like, it's so much more complicated than like, I'm not gonna say anything, but yeah, enjoying it. Also, wait, let me find the page, but I just read this and I thought it was the funniest, most relatable thing ever. So we've gone back a little bit, but we're on page 156 and the whole group are at a party, all like 7 of them are at a party, and the main guy, Oliver, asks James, he's like, I haven't seen you around, where have you been? And he says, I was making the rounds for a while, but I got overwhelmed and stuck upstairs to do some reading. Babe, same. I just found that really relatable. Anyway, those are my updates. 40% through, loving it. I'm having the best time. This one, I guess, is kind of a little bit more Saltburn-esque, I guess. In terms of like, I guess Bunny was so surreal and so like bizarre that it was like the vibes of Saltburn, but it was like, I feel like this one is slightly closer to the vibes of Saltburn, if that is what we're after. But what actually matters is that so far I'm having a fabulous week of reading because I am adoring both of these books. Like, this is well on its way to being a 5-star. I think it's going to be a 5-star. I'm loving it. I'm having the best time. Yeah, I unfortunately have to actually do some stuff with my day today, so I can't just sit here and read. And then, yeah, hopefully we can come back and get as much of this read. We're not going to finish it today, I won't have time, but get as much of it read as possible because I'm loving it. It's currently 1 AM. I have to be up for work at 6. Those amongst you who are good at maths will realise that that's not many hours, but I had to finish it. I got to the end of part 3 and I was like, okay, not part 3, part 4, I don't know, whatever the last one before the last one was. I'm tired, shut up. I got to the end of like the penultimate part and I was like, that's a big word for this time of night. Sorry. I got to the end of part whatever and I was like, I'm gonna stop here. I couldn't. I had to stay and finish. And to be fair, I probably finished this about like 40 minutes ago. I then went down a Reddit rabbit hole of trying to figure out what the ending meant. Like, I understood the ending, but I was like really tired, and then I was like maybe I didn't understand it. It's open-ended, I think, is what I've concurred. But it is
stunning and beautiful and sad, and I loved this. I loved this with my whole heart. I really did. I feel like I felt immediately connected to it just because of like personal connections anyway. Like the whole drama school setting, just immediately I felt connected to. And also I feel like Shakespeare is one of those things that I think if you're taught it well, you will fall in love with it. Because I remember I used to be very like, I don't understand it, I don't get it, it's not for me. And then I had a teacher who just, he was so unbelievably passionate and in love with Shakespeare and the language of Shakespeare that he made me fall in love with it. And this writer really reminds me of that teacher. And I can just imagine, I don't know, I could be completely way off the mark here, but I just feel like she has this real like pure love and like deep love of Shakespeare. I feel like she clearly is so intelligent. Like I don't annotate books, but I feel like I could annotate this and really go through all of the like Shakespeare passages that she picked, and like some of them I immediately recognised, some of them I kind of knew, some of them I didn't know at all. So it was kind of like, I feel like the more in-depth research you do, the more you will get out of it, but you can also completely enjoy it without having to do any of that. Like even if you read this and don't understand the Shakespeare, because that will be some people's experiences, and there were bits that I read and I didn't understand, and I don't think it takes away from the experience. But yeah, I love this. Also, as a side note, one of the things these characters do as like part of the drama school is they basically get given a part in a Shakespeare play and they never rehearse it, they just learn the lines and like get fit for costume and then they have to just put on the play. I would have loved to do that. And literally the whole way through that I was reading this, I was thinking like, how cool would this have been? Like I have teachers who 100% would have been up for it. So I don't know, it's probably like, well, it's definitely really hard, like in reality, but I feel like I would have really enjoyed that. I would have loved to have done that. We have sadly reached the end, and I will say, I've decided of the two, I think this one more closely resembled Saltburn. They're both still very different, it's still very different stories, but there were sort of complex elements of those relationships that reminded me of each other, and I can see why this book, and both of the books to be fair, were picked. But I could not be more happy. I could not be more happy if I tried. Both of these books were phenomenal. So completely different to each other. This one was like a fever dream. I feel like I didn't know what was happening half the time, and you kind of like lose yourself in this weird, crazy whirlwind of like reality and surrealness, and it's insane, but also so fun. And then this one is sad and intense and dark and intelligent, and it's the language, the prose is, oh, I want to bathe in it. It is gorgeous. And they're both completely different books, and I loved both of them. Which, like, I kind of half suspected I would anyway, because I know that the vibes that Saltburn were giving are the kinds of stories that I enjoy. So, like, is this a little bit like, what's that word? Oh, it's too late for this. You know the word where it's like, if you go looking for something, you'll find it. I feel like I had a feeling I would enjoy the kinds of books this video might bring up, but I feel like this surpassed my expectations, honestly, because I would give both of these books 5 stars. I adored them. I just feel like, sorry, this just, I just, you know when you just find books that back to back, to find books back to back that I adore, and I feel like this video is going to be really long because I just have so much to say on both of them, but anyway, I'm so happy I got recommended these. Highly recommend both, and I'm half debating doing a second video of this, although I didn't own any of the other books on that list, but maybe I could do a little bit more thorough research and see if there are any others that people recommend with Saltburn vibes, or if anybody has any recommendations for if you've seen Saltburn, or anything kind of similar, but those kinds of like morally grey characters, slightly unhinged storylines, unreliable narrator, any of those, if you've got any recommendations, leave them below, because I might do a part 2 of this. But anyway, I feel like this video is going to be an hour long. Thank you so much, genuinely, for being here. I really, really do appreciate it. Please do like the video and subscribe and do all that fun stuff, because it really, really genuinely makes a difference. And I hope you all have a lovely, lovely evening. Goodbye!